Hey guys, we are here to recap Project Runway episodes 10 and 11 of season 15. Please join us with our new host Carmen Cameron and special guest Sergio Paez. You don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, we are recapping season 15, episode 10 and 11 this week. We missed last week, and Dancing Dan is not going to be with us the rest of the season. We wish him well on his endeavors, and hopefully he'll be back with us next season. So filling in, we have Carmen Cameron with us for the rest of the season.
Hello everyone.
And where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Carmen Cameron. That's CarmenCamren.
All right. And we have with us special guest Sergio Paez.
Yay.
Hi, everybody.
Makeup artist.
Sergio.
And where can everybody find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Sergio Paez _MUA.
Right on. And I am your host, Michelle Uberreste. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberreste. So we have a lot to cover today, but I really want to introduce you guys to our makeup artist, Sergio Paez.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've worked with Michelle for a while now.
Yeah, two and a half years.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
Yeah. And I don't, as long as I've been on the show, we have never had a makeup artist. We always have designers, we have stylists, we have models. So I kind of wanted to bring someone with your perspective, to the show.
Yeah, it's actually, it's really a thing because I feel like a lot of looks can be killed by styling.
I agree.
Or over styling.
Yeah.
We get streetwear and then they have like vintage waves.
Right.
And I'm like,
Right.
why?
It definitely, when I was on the show, I learned it contributes a lot to if you're on top or you're on bottom. It can like make or break your look.
Yeah.
If you as a designer, you have a vision of a complete, look. You're not just creating, just a garment. You're really selling like a lifestyle or a feeling to someone. So
Yeah, and aesthetic quality is something that needs to be honest through and through.
Yeah,
From
I
the
agree.
top to the bottom. Consistency is the key in fashion.
Well, and I agree. It's your customer. You have to identify who your customer is for them to understand, what it is that you're selling.
Certainly. Telling that story.
Yeah. So Sergio, tell us a little bit about your career. Did you go to school? Are you self-taught? And what have you been up to?
I went to April Love Pro Makeup Academy. I got my certification there for makeup and hair. And I've been doing makeup for about 2 years now, 3 years, and hair for about half the time, and it's given me a lot of great opportunities. I got to go to New York Fashion Week,
Right.
LA Fashion Week,
And I believe we have a couple of photos from New York, right?
Yeah. There's one I did. This one with that was in New York. I was really happy about this one. This one's for Laurel DeWitt. I did the hair for that one.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
And how long did that take?
Well, 20 minutes.
You had to get it done.
Everything has
That's
to
that
be done
runway
in
life.
20 minutes.
Exactly.
And do you like hair or makeup better?
I like makeup better, but I get hired a lot for hair. People really, I guess, believe in my hair a lot.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
I think it
awesome.
makes you a lot more versatile.
Yeah, because a lot of people want really just one person, so they're like, just can you do both? Yes,
Right.
yes, I can.
Well, and it looks cohesive too. So
Yeah,
Exactly.
same hands touched it.
right on.
Exactly.
And do we have another photo?
That braid work is really nice.
Thank you. Braids are my favorite thing.
Really,
You're
mine
really
too.
good at braids.
This was backstage at Style Fashion Week this past season, just like last month. I did not even know that picture was being taken.
I love this picture.
That's a great moment.
It's such a candid,
Yeah, it's so natural. Candids are the best.
I know. Whenever you want to pose for a photo, you're like, ee!
Right, and it looks so weird. Like, yeah, it never works
Forced.
for me.
Oh, and who's this for?
Oh,
Beautiful.
This is actually an editorial that I did with Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Michelle.
One of my favorite looks ever.
Yeah, I loved how they.
The lighting is amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
epic.
It was. We did it actually
beautiful.
at night,
Yeah.
and we were outside. It doesn't look like it is, but
Yeah, we were
I just.
outside.
He was
get
like,
that.
Sergio was like, I want to like get rid of her eyebrows, and I was like, oh, I love that. So I was
No
really,
eyebrows.
really stoked.
Definitely edgy.
It was really fun.
Right on. And is there? I mean, what are you doing right now? Are you working
I'm
freelance?
still freelancing. I'm waiting on confirmation for Beijing and New York again next
Cool.
year.
Oh,
so,
wow.
crossing my fingers.
Yeah, New York
What an
was super
exciting
exciting.
place.
Oh, New York was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing I quit smoking because it was $15 a pack of cigarettes there.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
New York is a very expensive place for sure.
Yeah, we just voted to add more taxes on our cigarettes too.
Yeah, so-
California.
I'm smoking.
Don't mind me.
Need more money for makeup.
Yeah.
And do you have a website or anything where people can find you and hire you
That
and
is
look at your
coming
work?
soon. If you look at my Instagram, that's at Sergio Paez _MUA. My email's there. All my information is there.
Okay, cool. And you do everything. You do like weddings, editorial,
Wedding,
everything.
quinceañeras,
Okay.
Yes,
photo,
quinceañeras.
runway.
What's your favorite kind of genre that you like to work on?
Editorial. I like doing
Yeah.
like high fashion, just drama.
And what % of that is your is your business?
Like 20%.
Really? That's fortunate. I feel like in the fashion world, it's mostly like boring
Yes.
product
Actually, yeah.
shots, and then editorials. Like everyone wants to do editorial, but it's kind of few and far between.
Yeah,
Well,
every
I try
once
to
in a
get
while
one.
you get a chance to really express yourself. Right?
Yeah,
I
But
try
other
to
than
get
that,
as
it's
many
like
ideas in.
I know.
sometimes it's a snooze.
I know. And are you a Project Runway super fan?
Yes, I am. That's why when I first.
Well, I know.
Like, that's how I met you. Someone mentioned, I was like, Project Runway? Yes, I saw that season. I know
I
who
don't
she
even
is.
remember how we met. Did I put an ad or what?
Melissa Evans.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I worked
That's
with her in San Diego. She
So
was like,
funny.
Michelle, you guys have the same aesthetic.
That is so
was
funny
like,
how you
dark
meet people,
black.
like your story. I don't even remember how, but then I have like people I work with all the time. I don't remember how it's really, when you start networking and stuff,
Yeah,
it
you
gets
just,
to be a
you're
crazy
like, how long
web.
have I known you now?
Crazy.
And is there like a signature that you have or like special looks that you as your favorite?
I like highlighting. I like shiny.
Yeah, because the new
Shiny,
trend in
shiny.
makeup is kind of this, what do they call it, strobing?
Yeah.
It's like reverse contouring almost.
Yeah, that's what people say. It's really intense highlighting. I like skin to look pretty, and it's I want the skin to look. I want someone to look like they put moisturizer on.
Nice.
Right on.
That's how we want to feel when we put makeup on too.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you don't want to feel
don't
like
feel dry.
Like you're a
fake-
cake.
Right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so true.
Yeah. That's why I hate foundation. I always feel like I'm like,
Hate
I have like cake all over my, it's just,
It's the weirdest feeling.
but I mean, I'm not really a makeup expert either, so I don't know what like is the really good brands of makeup. What are your favorite brands of makeup?
I like Makeup Forever. Kevin O'Quan is amazing. And, his stuff is it's so great. And,
Yeah.
just Makeup Forever is really, really good.
He's a makeup
very
legend.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Quan is like the original Don Dada of like the
he's
face
done
of superstar makeup
Everybody's
artists.
face in the 90s.
Yeah. He was amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing talent.
Right on. And so our makeup sponsor on the show is Mary Kay. Have you ever used Mary Kay before?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
In the school, we had Mary Kay foundations.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and they were great. They were nice. They were simple. They were, because I feel like Mary Kay's for a more mature woman. So it was their foundations were actually very hydrating. I found it was good coverage. It was something that I would use for myself.
Right on. My Aunt Sonia sells Mary Kay.
I know,
And
right?
she's always like, do you want I was like, but I don't wear makeup that I feel bad because I just really don't, like I have to rely on people like you know. I don't. I make clothes and the faces I just can't.
That's why if I need someone for sewing, I'm like, what's that mean? What's a cross stitch?
I know. I get too technical too, guys, so please put me in check when I'm like, oh yeah, this French seam doesn't look very good.
For sure.
So, okay, should we recap episode 10, Life is Full of Surprises?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, this is kind of an everyday woman challenge, except they're using the family members and friends of the designers.
Yes.
And for me, this is kind of like, I know because from being on the show, when they bring in the family members, it is so emotional.
It is very emotional.
It's not
has
fake
to
at
be.
all, you guys. It's just you've been
Right.
working so hard.
Right.
And you're like stressed out, and this is like your whole you think this is your whole life
Yes,
when you're
there's
there.
so
you know?
much anxiety involved with reality TV. Just
Yeah.
the waiting, the competition, the games I'm sure that the producers
yeah.
might play.
And
so to
lack of
see
sleep on top of
someone
it.
that you know, like your mother or your sister,
Yeah.
walk through the door,
Yeah.
emotions have to pour out because it's like finally a safe place.
I know. And
You know?
you do make friends with the other designers, but it's really people that you've known for like not very long.
Right.
you
Like, how
know?
much can you really trust these people to confide in them?
It's just not the same as like your mother or your
Right.
friend of 20 years. Or,
Definitely.
You know.
I would
Definitely.
Die. Like, if
So,
my mommy came.
I would just
Yeah.
melt. Like, oh, thank God.
I know.
It's
It's
just such
really,
a sigh of relief.
It can either screw you up or it can really like encourage you.
Right.
So,
Because it's a lot of added pressure, too, because you don't want to get sent home on the episode that your mom comes.
Yeah.
You don't want to
I
get
know.
red for a bad
I know.
outfit on your mother. Like, yeah, your mom looks terrible in that shirt. Like, oh, no.
I know.
Now
And
what?
your poor mother too, you know, like you're
Oh, it, like, completely ruins the shot of you going home as,
She's
like,
like,
the
I wanted
hometown
this.
hero.
I know.
Oh,
but
my
your
God.
mom would be so proud of you anyway.
She would.
So, and it's funny because, okay, so we have Barbara Shipley with Tim Gunn introducing the challenge, and she's Senior VP from brand integration at AARP.
Right.
And I'm like, really, guys? This is
Exposure.
AARP?
People
Okay.
need exposure. It's just,
Well,
politics.
someone falls and they need their button pressed.
I just yeah, it's a stretch. But they do try to have most of the mothers come in. But I feel like it's a little unfair because some of the people, it wasn't their mothers, it was like their best friend,
Right.
their
Which
super
is a
young, hip,
different-
skinny best friend.
Right.
And I'm like, this is not, you're not in the same challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I understand they can't always, like, you don't always have, you know, a mom available or whatever. But I was just like, you couldn't find anybody, like, less cool because no matter what this girl is
Right.
going to put on, like Dexter's best friend, like, you could
Yeah.
put a trash bag on her and she would make it look the
Right.
coolest.
Exactly.
So, which is sort of what he ends up doing later.
It's
but
sorta.
it's a cool.
A trash bag with wings, so they called it.
I thought it was really cool, but it is a little.
No shade, Dexter.
So they're calling it the Fresh Personal Challenge, and basically it's like the biggest prize that I've ever heard of on Project Runway, unless you're the winner. It's a $25,000 prize for the winner, and the model of the designer that is the winner also wins $25,000.
Yeah, that's
so you and your mom can win
huge.
$50,000.
Right. I'm like, Mom, I need you to have your game face on. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
work the runway.
Come
Mom.
on, Mom.
I just thought that because we had on
How
my
exciting.
season,
I would
you could
love
win like
that.
$5,000 or something.
Right.
But like you could pay off your student loan. You could buy
Right.
a car. Like this is, I mean, you could start a
25,000
business.
is this a big deal?
Huge for most people.
Definitely.
So I thought that was really cool. And then it's a 2-day challenge,
Yeah. So they have a little extra time.
which I just always love because just one day is just not enough. For
So much
most-
pressure.
Yeah,
Ah,
for sure.
I can't imagine.
So, did you guys notice anything in the workroom that you think is worth mentioning?
Pretty typical stuff
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. I feel
You know,
like
a couple dudes, couple don'ts.
I was there with my mom, I feel like I wouldn't get anything done.
I know. It'd be
Like,
hard to
like,
focus.
Talking to my mom.
Yeah,
and
my mom will be
she
talking
would
to
want
me.
to know all the
Yeah.
things.
I know.
Like, the gossip would be like, so who don't you like? Who's picking on you?
Right.
I'm gonna go beat them up for you.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, no.
It's true, but I don't think they're in there for as long as you think. I think it's just like they go in there for like the original sketch time and stuff, and then they come back in for fitting because I think they know it would be too distracting.
So inside of the showroom, the workroom, do you get to work at home? Like when you go home, do you get to stitch something at night or kind of
No.
work on your pattern? Everything has to stay in the
Everything's
workroom.
in the workroom.
Okay.
Every single thing is filmed, and when they call time, it's time. You can go home and
Right.
like think
Right.
or sketch,
Right.
but like at that point, you have an hour in the morning to
That's so
finish anything.
frustrating as a designer because you're so used to going and working through the night until it's done. To have
Yeah.
to stop and be idle for 8 hours, knowing that you could be working and making your piece better. Like, what is that like?
Yeah, and you can't sleep even though you have like 6 hours worth of sleep.
Right.
You can't sleep because you're thinking
Your brain
I
is
have to do this
racing.
and this and this and this
Right.
and this, and in the morning and like an hour, and you're like, that sounds impossible.
Exactly.
So I mean, it is, but you're also exhausted.
Right.
So,
You
but
also need a break.
right, but if you but it's nice kind of to have that time if you can control it and rein it in to be like, okay, I do need to do this and this and this in the morning, and so then you have a list in your mind so you can kind of step back for a second. Sometimes, I mean, I would get ideas like, oh, I'm gonna completely change the top in the morning because
Yes.
it's stupid.
I feel
Yes.
like it would be a good thing to like take notes when you get home. It's like I'm gonna
Yeah, even
I
just
feel
take
I
like
do
10
know.
minutes.
Yeah,
and-
just to like think about something and think, what could I have done? What did I do today that I could change tomorrow that can make it better?
Right.
right.
But
Right.
you know, I guess you don't want to overthink it.
You don't, but I think a lot of designers in the workroom, they're just working and they're not thinking at all.
Right.
So
And
they're
it
just trying
shows
to finish.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it shows sometimes.
definitely.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get lucky and your stuff turns out great.
Right.
And sometimes like you had a great idea and it didn't turn out great. And most designers, it's like you said, they have months to work on their collections and do a fitting and change the fabrics and have a team that, you know, comments and stuff. So it is like really, you have to have a hold on it for sure. But yeah. So, okay, so let's talk about the runway. Let's pull up our first designer.
Favorite part.
It's actually the other episode. Thank you. So first we have Cornelius.
Who
And
just came back.
right. And I was so happy. You know,
Yes, I'm so glad he didn't go home.
you know, in the beginning of the season, I was kind of
was
like,
kinda like-
Cornelius, he's a little studenty.
Yeah, a little.
And a little shady.
Something
But you
sophomoric
know
about
what?
him.
I can appreciate his shade because though he is a direct person, he's very honest. And I'm
Right.
noticing that his critiques are kind of on point and very straight, like very
Thoughtful.
straight to the point.
Yeah.
Right. They're thoughtful, but they're not buttery and sugary. It's kind of like, well, no, do what you're good at. That's what you should do. He's like cut and dry and to the point
Yeah.
type of guy.
And that's why I like him now.
Yeah, now I kind of understand his
I get
little
it
shade,
I'm that
I
way
guess.
too. But,
Right.
but like we saw him a couple episodes talking to his friend Natalia, and he's like trying to help her. He's like, "This isn't good. You need to do with something." And she took it as like, "Oh, you're trying to, you know, tell me my
play games
look
or something.
sucks." And he's like, "No, I'm just trying to help you." And I think he is
Yeah.
honest and like has a good heart
Yeah.
with it.
Definitely. I think so.
What were you gonna say, Sergio?
I forgot.
Oh, okay. And I think his designs are, you know, as you go through the competition, you usually get more tired and it
Yeah.
starts showing. But I think Cornelius has really started like picking it up and being more
Yeah.
creative and getting more comfortable with
Yeah.
himself.
His studious
Definitely.
side shows through because he's very detail oriented.
Yeah.
Like I love his lines and his
Great
structures.
construction.
Yes, his construction is very nice.
Right on. Can we go back one photo? So Cornelius, I believe this is his mom, and she wants to go traveling and she wants something bold and edgy. And so he creates this kind of skirt and jacket suit combination, and it's got a gray print with kind of yellow orange stripes going through it. And I personally thought this was really age appropriate,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was subtle, but then he added the color to make it
Right.
exciting.
Right.
And I thought it was really flattering on her.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. It's well suited for her body size and shape. It isn't too tight in the midriff, so it doesn't really accentuate where she may be more full figured too much. Like it just gives her silhouette a nice balance, and
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And so what I gave it an 8. What did you give it? 1 through 10.
1 through 10. I'll give it a 7.5.
I give it a 7.
Okay.
I'll give it a 7.5. The orange, they kind of remind me of like the guys who are at the airport.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're like
uh-huh.
this with the reflectors.
I think it was really a little more yellow on my TV screen.
Okay.
But I totally get, even the yellow might look a little, you know.
I like
Yeah,
yellow on
a little
deeper skin tones. I think
I like yellow too, on
Yeah.
anything almost.
You're right.
Yeah.
Orange makes me think of yams sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I think of yams.
Okay, yams. She
Yeah.
got them yams.
But it looks.
I like,
it's
but it's not
good on it.
pumpkins, it's like yams.
Yeah, it's yams.
Yams. It's yams.
Right on.
Certainly.
Okay, and next up we have, I believe we have Dexter. Yeah, so his cute little,
Dexter's thing
Friend.
is the full body thing. Like he
Yeah.
loves a full bodied
Yeah.
piece, you know?
I love it though. It
Yeah.
I
looks,
thought it was so
Her
sick.
legs
It
are
was
lit.
so
Like he
cool.
did this on purpose. They had
yeah.
to like
They picked a good person. for
right.
it.
I know.
You get Heidi Klum's little junior mini me.
oh yeah, for sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's lit.
She's surfing it.
Yeah,
And you
she
can't
is.
really see from the photo because it's so dark, but there's kind of studs on the front, and he kind of picked up the fabric and wrapped it on these like boning pieces and stuff. I think
Yeah.
it's super duper cool, but I think again, like he's living in a different world than the rest of these designers.
he's avant-garde.
Yeah, it's very avant-garde for
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go traveling with. I'm like I'm not gonna
I
go
would
to
wear
Bali.
it grocery
probably-
shopping, but
Well, I wear heels to 7-Eleven.
I personally would wear roller skating. You know, I think that
That
the
actually sounds
sleeves
really
would
cool.
catch
Yeah.
up good wind. You know.
but I think I wonder if like the producers decided we're gonna give Dexter a hipper girl because that's his aesthetic, you know. But
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
or
'cause
if it
his
was
mom
just an
and those
accent.
sleeves, I don't know if that would have
No, for sure. Yeah.
Nah.
And you know,
that
it
was
has to
good
go with the
production.
girl's life, but I feel like he just got such a pass this
Right.
episode.
He did.
Like he could just do his thing and he didn't have to kind of modify it and do this everyday woman like
That's a good
thing.
perspective.
But,
Yeah, it's true.
But whatever, he's safe.
He's in
so.
his bag though. That's his aesthetic. Like I want to see what else he can give us besides the big arms.
Put outside his comfort zone though. Like
Exactly.
designed for a person that has to live a normal life or
Right.
isn't like living life on the runway.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right, like we didn't get to see his style translate to another woman. Like
Right.
it's still the same woman that he dresses every week. you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
Because I think you could do like a strong jacket or something and it still
Right.
be, hi, it's just this fierce girl that has an office job, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just toned down or something.
And it could
but
keep the same like shoulder pad thing, but
just
just a
tone,
little less.
dial it back the volume a little bit. Yeah.
Or find new ways to accentuate the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't always have to be a pattern sewn to stand up. It
Right.
could be fringe. It could be
Like a
something
tilted slant
layered.
A
thing.
different shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and next we have, this is Aaron's?
Yes,
Ugh.
this is Aaron's. I love Erin. Let me just start by saying I love Erin. I love her quirkiness. I love
She's
the
cute
blonde
with
with
the
the bold
glasses.
glasses. I think it's so cute, and I love her style. But
I do too, but I
this
think
was
she's
a
slipping.
miss. Yes.
Yes.
She might be. She might
She
have
came
given
out
us
of the
so
gate
much.
too fast.
killing it, and
And then slowly tapering off, and I'm just like,
like she's
you
running out of
better,
models.
yeah. And I'm like, once you get down, you start getting to less and less designers. Like, if you screw up, you're gonna be out.
Yeah, she came out with guns blazing, and I think she did her biggest tricks early. And now she's like scrambling to keep that level of creativity alive. It's really hard to be that creative.
Yeah, and I
And
think
now
she
it's
also
like-
took it for granted. She was like, "Oh, I'm doing great, so I don't have to try as hard."
Oh no, that's not the right attitude to take.
I don't
Erin.
think so.
or like
Yeah, but this man, I was so disappointed that she would even choose this like doily.
It
type
was, yeah,
of
it didn't say Erin
fabric.
to me at all. And I feel like she's also known for these jackets, you know, there's these cool jackets.
These,
And
like,
this one,
shapeless kind of.
but they looked cool before, and this one I didn't
better.
like. It was just kind of like frumpy, and okay, we used neoprene and we used my technique of stitching on the appliques, but it didn't translate into. I would see this and
didn't.
never think Erin.
It,
it looked like a
didn't.
side table.
It looks
it-
like
yeah.
it looks exactly like what the judges said. Like it looks like this is a spring dress, so there's no need to have a jacket with made of that fabric going with it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be that cold in the season that you would wear that dress.
It's a little schizophrenic.
It is. It is. And even the pieces separately, I didn't really care for either.
I just didn't care for it.
So I gave it a 5. What did you guys rate it?
I'm gonna give her.
I give it a 5.
I'm gonna give her a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, that's pretty on point. Okay, and our next
It's a
designer.
little below average.
This was Jenny.
Oh, Jenny. Again.
I love her too.
I know.
Her laugh, but
Her laugh is like, oh my goodness.
I know, she's so
it's
cute.
as unique as this outfit.
And so this is an example, I think, when we were talking about Dexter, like you take your look and you translate it. She took her look, but it doesn't translate.
It didn't translate.
So this is like
properly.
something Jenny would wear, and that she kind of made for the challenge where they had the windows with the models in them.
Yeah.
She had the popcorn sweater, and this to me looked like that. And I think it's a cool sweater, but she's not thinking about how to flatter her model at all.
Right. This shirt hanging from the bottom is just not fashionable to me, period. And I'm just not feeling the clash of the textures. Like the wispy lines on the pants and then the fuzz in the shirt. It's just too much clash for me. And I'm all about mixing textures and, all of that, but it just didn't quite and then it was a little frumpy. Like the fit was a little.
Yeah. She kind of just looked like some, lady that's tired and she just threw on some stuff and some
reminded
leggings.
me of like a mannequin in like a Forever 21.
Right,
They're like, you have to put all these. And some little girl in Arcadia was like, I'll put this sweater.
Now I like the pants, but I would have liked to see the
did
pant
too,
with like maybe a cool kind of blazer, like with
Jacket,
a cool
yeah,
cut,
yeah.
you know?
And like what I said earlier about the styling's very important.
Right.
Right.
She put her in like this streetwear kind of stuff.
But it was not style.
Yeah, very young, and then she gave her like a very mature look.
Like a mom hair.
Yeah, she gave her mom hair, and I was like,
She should have gave her a top
equally-
knot or something.
Something more
Yeah.
hip. Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. Yeah. So I gave it a 4, which is kind of generous now that I think back on it. But what do you guys think?
I gave it a 4 as well.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to give her a 5 because I actually like the pant, and I think that this is not as bad as the doily dress.
Maybe like
That's
if I have it in
true.
my closet, I'd
That's
wear it.
Yeah, so I'm
true.
going to give her a 5.
At least this is like a real thing you could buy in a
Right,
store.
like, at least I
and
could wear
someone would
these-
be like, okay, I'll wear it.
Right, at least we can wear these pieces separately.
I agree. I think separately they could work. Like I
Right.
like the sweater and I
Definitely.
like the pants or leggings, whatever too, but I don't think together it's flattering.
Not together.
So then we're moving on to Laurence. And she has kind of this cool black leather. It's actually a blazer kind of with a shawl collar and a red shirt underneath and a pencil skirt. And I really liked this look. Obviously, Laurence's leather work is like out of this world.
Yeah,
So
that's the
talented.
one thing that she's really good with. Well, I shouldn't have said it like that. That's her specialty.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's her
her
signature.
standout.
Yeah.
That's her signature standout focal point.
But I didn't think this jacket was as good as her other jackets. I felt like it didn't fit correctly in the front. I didn't feel like the
Yeah.
open was
wasn't symmetrical.
appropriate for her body either.
It's like the bust didn't fit properly because
Right.
it
Yeah.
looked like saggy right here, and the
Exactly.
brow was a little like.
And I think that's
It's-
part of the challenge too when you're doing like someone who's not the dress like this girl is pretty thin, she might be the dress form, but as far as like some of the models, the dress form is different than, she probably has more boobs or, than the models they're used to working with, and
I think-
it's difficult.
I'm thinking that the turtleneck is too high, and then the cut
I think so too.
the cut of the jacket, it makes the boob look longer because of where she decides to bring it in.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was a little lower to where you can tell cleavage would be showing if a shirt, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it just looks
I think
really
so.
long from here to here. And then
Yeah.
the fact that it doesn't open up symmetrically just makes it look a little sloppy to me.
Right.
Like it looks like it's been balled up. And
I
then
get
she
that.
pulled it out and shook it up and put it on, and it kind of laid a little crinkly. That's what
Yeah.
it looks to me.
The thing I love Laurence's work and I like subtle details
She's
like
very
that.
subtle, yeah.
But on the runway, you can never see all the work that she puts into it. Like the
Right.
entire lapel had like these little tiny pieces of leather stitched together and
wow.
stuff. And it's always black on
important.
black, so you lose any of the like wow factor that you'd have. And
Right.
I don't know how you always necessarily do that with. You'd have to put a color or something else in there to contrast, but I like her aesthetic. It's very similar to mine, but it just doesn't come across on the runway and on TV.
Yeah, maybe it has more of a hanger appeal than a runway appeal.
Yeah, and in real life, I'd see somebody wearing that jacket and be like,
oh my god.
where did you get
Yeah.
that?
Right, exactly.
Because you can see all those things up when you're
So
talking
maybe
to a
she should have a
person.
little fun with, instead of keeping it so neutral, because she does a lot of neutral tones, I'm noticing. Like maybe she could just do a pop or something like. if we
Even
could
just
get
add some gray or
colors
silver or like a
Yeah.
shiny and a matte black or
Yeah,
something that's
some
going to have
texture.
some more impact.
Yeah, definitely texture.
But I gave it an 8 because I still think it was really good, and I think her daughter would wear this.
I gave it a 7.5. I thought it was neat. That was the word I used.
Yeah, it
I
is
used
neat.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because to me it's too neat for the runway. Like when I see a runway, I really want to see something that stands out. So
Yeah.
I love her work and I definitely appreciate the detail, but I want to see something bigger from her.
Right.
I'm waiting for something bigger.
I haven't been well since like episode 2.
Yeah.
It's always consistently beautiful.
The little
Yeah,
black-
it's consistently neat
Yeah.
and perfectly laid and but it's just. I want a little more from her. I want to see her do
More
some
drama.
I
edgy,
think
Yeah.
her and Dexter need to
leather
take a cue
skirt.
from each
Oh
other.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If they could like team up, I feel
Yeah.
like
Could you imagine if she did
amazing.
leather work on the shoulders and
Yeah.
it was just
And
Or
it
some of
was
his
she
fringe
made his
work.
work more subtle. It would look more
Yeah.
expensive.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
That'd be awesome. You guys need to, you hear that?
But good
Dexter
work.
and Laurent, you need to do like a project together.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'll retweet you.
Oh, Ma Jing. You are so
Slay it.
good.
Come through, East Coast.
I just thought
Yes.
she had so much swagger, and
Oh.
I am so Ma Jing, please
It was
email
so
me. I
lit.
want one of these jackets.
It was
So
so
I will
lit.
wear it every day of my life.
I loved it.
Oh,
I loved it.
The sleeves with
Yeah.
the
and the
It
belt,
was
and
so
she
edgy.
just
It
looks
It matches
so
her
cool.
personality.
Yeah.
You can tell that's who she is.
yeah,
It looks
she
great
came
with her.
out and she was just
She
Yeah,
kind of
it
has that like quiet, cool like attitude
Right.
going on. I just love it. But
I
I
loved
really
it.
want this jacket, Ma Jing. I'm not joking.
And he gave her a look like he took in mind where she wanted to go. Of course, that was a part of the challenge, and he really crafted a look that would stand out in the entertainment business.
yeah. I would be intimidated
Yeah.
by this woman.
Missy
Oh,
would
yeah.
rock.
I
Missy
would
would
give her
rock
every
that.
bit of respect that I have.
Yeah,
the second
for
she
sure.
enters the room.
So many artists would rock that, and it's seems not universal, but when a guy when a guy and a female can wear it.
Oh, unisex.
Unisex.
Yeah. Well, I think it would look good on any body type.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just thought this is kind of an example when we were talking about Laurence's where it's subtle, but he's got that kind of metallic and it's dark
Yeah.
and you can still see these
he's
details.
good with texture.
You know, and but
Yeah,
it's
like that
definitely moody
layering up
and
here.
oh,
And he did
yes.
exactly what you said. Like there was a matte, and then there was a little shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, it was good. It was just a good.
This
look.
was just complete genius to
want it.
me.
yes.
It looks
I
like something I
mean-
can't afford.
Yes, for sure. Well, and it's
I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna give him an 8.
I gave him a 9 only because I just never give out 10s.
Maybe you know what? I'll give him an 8.5.
I give him a 9.
Because I feel like 10s are just reserved for like I had a stroke. But if I did do that, I would give it a 10. But
Same.
I had to do 9. I'm obsessed.
I
I'm
had a
obsessed.
stroke on the first episode when I think it was Rick. Was it Rick's dress? When it was like layers on layers of ruffles, and they had to grab anything that they could. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I just had a quick little moment.
Yeah, for
It was
sure.
amazing.
The party, yeah.
Yeah, the party.
Those are so
sorry.
hard.
I can only imagine.
That's how I turn a champagne bottle into a dress.
It was sickening.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no. Oh, never mind. Okay,
Okay.
never mind. Never mind. Don't even worry about it.
Okay, and next up we have. Who is this? This was Natalia.
I have a lot to say about this.
Okay, what do you
Just-
what do you think?
It was too oversized. That looks like it was made
Poor
from
baby.
like car upholstery.
Yeah.
I said it
It
looked
definitely
like
looks like a couch upholstery
Yeah.
for sure.
it looks like before this is what I wore before I lost all my weight.
Oh no!
And then they're just like, look at how big this is.
That's
look at how
so
big
funny.
this is now.
And like
Aw.
I feel like when the most interesting thing about your outfit is the pocket,
Mm,
that's saying
I didn't
something.
even
I
like the
like-
pockets.
I like the pocket. It was like some like this weird. It looked
I
like
like the front.
it
I
looked
like the.
it was attached. It looked like a
It was like on
It
the
looked like
front.
mittens.
Like it was very like Pokemon cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
But
vibe was
I
totally.
liked it because I like really weird pieces. Like when you can pull a weird piece off, it's just she's not technical. Like her sewing and her
I agree.
seams and her cuts are like I'm really shocked that she got this far without knowing how to be.
Me too.
Without being a better seamstress.
And I think that's what killed it for me. Like that's what I wrote as her construction because she is using this weird fabric and it looks like a couch because she's not finishing it correctly.
Right.
She kind of she faces it, she turns it inside out. She doesn't top stitch. Neoprene needs to be top stitched so that you
Yeah.
can see that it's puffy and stuff like that, or raw. But like it just looks not finished.
It
Because I actually liked the idea of
I
the
did
black
too.
and
I
the
did
white and the
too.
angular was
Yep.
really cool and modern.
because there's something like
was very
new
modern.
Boy George about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe even if it would have been like cropped or
Oh,
or
cropped would
longer.
have been sick.
It's
or
just a
even
weird-
asymmetrical coming like a
would have
crop,
made
like
it even more cool for me and
Crazy.
modern. But then the finishing kind of just makes it really studenty looking.
She's studenty.
She
She's
is.
she's so sweet.
She's so beautiful. Too.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I think she has really good ideas, but I just think she needs a little more experience, you know.
Yeah,
And I feel like
she's young.
yeah, and we'll see in the next episode she gets a little emotional about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think she could be really good. I think she just needs more time.
I felt like she handled herself really gracefully on the runway. I mean, she had a moment, she had her tears, and then like her mom hugged her.
Because it's her
so
mom.
Sweet.
I couldn't be there and have my daughter like getting ripped to shreds and like,
I know.
what do you do in that moment?
I'll be like, F you. F you, Heidi.
Well, yeah, and as a
Talk
mom,
about
like,
my baby like that.
you know, is your mom into fashion, or does she even know what the judge, like, what are the judges saying, and like why? And you know, you're looking at your kid through like these blind.
You've got to be so cold to read someone like that in front of their mom about their mom and like what their mom has on.
I think they were being extra careful.
Yeah, they were being nice.
They do
were
that.
Kind of being like, you look great.
They do that when there's like real women or kids or moms. They're extra careful. They'll be like, well, I don't much care for it, you know, but then like the next episode they'll be like, this is butt ugly, and
they can read. They are so shady. Their reads are so shady.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, and we only have a couple of designers left. This is Roberi.
Loved it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so sweet.
Yeah.
Loved it. I love the color. I love the fabric that he used at the bottom. It just moved so gracefully and so flowy, but then it still had edge. It still was like a
there was some funk
metallic.
to it.
Yeah.
Yes. It was even like sheer bits in it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the skirt was.
Yeah, it was
It
awesome.
was kind of like a blue with a black sheer around it.
I
it was
I would
really
love
cool.
to dress my mother in this. I would even wear this. I think it's adorable.
I think this episode was like one of the most successful in Project Runway history of dressing a real woman.
Yeah.
Because normally we're very disappointed and designers are just used to dressing like stick figure models
Right.
and anything looks good on them. So I think like, and especially for older ladies, like I'm always thinking like, okay, when I turn 40 one day, what am I gonna wear? Because nothing's age appropriate, and I feel like a lot of these are really age appropriate, but they're still really cool. This dress to me looks really expensive,
it
It
does.
does.
and I think the way he mixed,
Yes, the textiles.
right. I think
Oh
that
my
takes a little bit of talent.
Yes.
Because you know you can go into Kohl's or whatever and
He's such an
they
artist
mix
to me.
stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
He's definitely like the true definition of an artist, from the way he speaks to how he creates. Like, I love his process.
I hope he makes it to Fashion Week because I want
I
to see what he would
want
do with
him
the
to.
whole
I have to see-
collection.
yes.
With no
He's
inspiration
very,
from the
like,
judges.
under the radar.
He
like
is.
he's flying, but he's like.
He's
there's
just
a lot
kinda
of drama.
cruising.
He's
and
reserving. He's
he
playing
has
his
little
smart
side.
chess
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
He's reserving. Like, he didn't give us all of his shebang in the beginning. You know.
Yeah, I
Like,
hope he
he's-
goes to Fashion Week.
He has a lot of ideas.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
he
gave
has
it
a
an
lot of
8.
ideas. I give it a 9. It's one of my favorites.
I give it an 8.
And I think like younger women could wear this too.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's very classy.
So
I
I
can
think
see
that's
Michelle
really
Obama
hard.
killing that.
Oh,
She
yes.
would slay this dress.
Oh yes. Roberi, you need to call out Michelle Obama and get
Mrs.
get some
Obama.
stuff on her.
No more Alexander Wang.
I know. Okay. And then who is this? It looks all black to me. It's not Rick.
Oh yeah, wait, that's Rick.
That's Rick's?
No, Rick had
No,
the
Rick
heart.
had it is. It just
Yeah.
looks
Oh,
like
can
really
we not
dark.
see it from here?
Okay,
Oh,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
This was adorable.
The heart was too gimmicky for me.
I thought so too.
had
I
to-
thought it was really
And
juvenile.
I lived.
until I saw the heart. I thought it was great.
All is fair in love and fashion and war, and this is all three.
I don't know. I mean, I
Won him
thought
over.
I thought it was really smart, but to me it just looks like, oh, I'm making something for a more mature woman. Let's go, like a Chanel jacket.
Thank you. That's my exact.
right?
Yeah, from a designer's
Yes.
perspective, he totally ripped Chanel
So
off.
I mean, he didn't
Totally.
rip off Chanel, but like, let's do a
It's
cute.
Chanel though.
Jacket.
Yeah.
I felt
So
like
What
Moschino
about
does
cute
Chanel.
jacket tweed doesn't scream Chanel though?
Yeah.
well, he did do a lot of detail on it. Actually, you can't see it on the runway much, but I saw
Well,
in the
they zoomed
workroom
in. It was
he was
just-
cutting like leather with red behind it and like all these little shapes
I
and stuff.
loved it.
It was. I
The
thought the
detail was
detail was really
amazing.
cool, and I think it made it look expensive. But I just feel like this is like the go-to look for older ladies.
You want her to look expensive?
look-
Give her a tweed jacket.
I mean, maybe if he would have done it in a different.
But it was so well made.
Yeah.
Really well made.
It was so well made. Like the hanger appeal, I'm sure. Just that heart. That heart is kind of corny. It's kind of cheesy.
I get it why he did it, but it
Yeah,
didn't look
it
expensive.
worked.
It looked like like if you go to Target and you go in the baby section for like the little jumpers, that's what it looks like.
Maybe
to
they
me.
were just judging.
like really
his-
cartoony,
Right. Maybe they were just judging his expression of love for his mother.
Probably.
Like maybe this has something to do with like
Like, you
expression
gotta-
of emotion.
Right, because he wins the challenge.
Right, he won.
Yeah.
So,
But-
do you guys agree with that decision?
I like Rubio's dress the best.
I liked Majing's.
I like Majing's too, and I like
Majing's
Roberry's
was
over
lit.
Rick's. Rick's was
Roberry, I'm
great,
sorry.
but I didn't think it was the win.
I've seen a lot of tweed jackets.
I know. It's kind of different. Like, how do you make a tweed jacket like different? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's clean. I appreciated the aesthetics, but
was-
between Majin
It looked really
and
rich with old
Roberry.
And so Jenny goes home. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. I love Jenny. I love her so much.
I do, I guess.
But yeah.
You
I'm
guess.
sorry.
Who would you chose to go home?
I guess maybe just based on this episode, she was the right decision. But I would have sent Natalia home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
would've
probably,
sent
yeah,
Natalia
if I was a judge, I probably would have. It's hard to say, like, you really are judging them on that challenge, but you know the judges take into consideration, like,
Yeah.
your past
you
work
are,
and
right.
stuff. So it's really, like, yeah, based on their past work, I don't think Jenny's that strong either. Like, her and Natalia were really close. But,
Yeah.
but I probably would have sent home Natalia just because I think, like, Jenny at least deserved another chance.
Right. Like, it was a bad styling, but
She has done okay stuff.
Yeah, there's some
in the
stuff that
past.
she's done that's been like really pretty.
it's just a
The
matter of
plastic
time.
jacket.
That was-
right.
oh,
So
God,
she
I
has like,
love
I feel like
plastic
Natalia's
jackets.
kind of like she only has one type of thing that she goes for this neoprene geometric thing all the time, and that's
And she's not Erin.
and yeah, and it doesn't always execute real well. So I wasn't like surprised by anything she's ever made. You know,
I get that.
at least Jenny I feel like had like some tricks up her sleeve.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's talk about episode 11.
So this, oh, okay.
This was a power trip.
Yes.
When they first said it, I have to be honest, I thought they were going to design for flight attendants.
Oh my gosh, that would be. They did
All the aviation.
one season. They did have to dress postal workers.
I loved it.
Did you see that? Yeah. I
the
was like,
hat.
really? That would be just. There's a, like, okay, it has to be a button-up shirt and it has to be bottoms and it has to be. And I'm like, so what? What you want me to put a different pocket on it? What do you want?
Right.
That was
Like,
ridiculous.
chic cargo shorts.
I know. Ah. Okay, so we have the designers, and they get to actually take a helicopter ride
Yes.
above
Oh
New
my
York
God.
City.
How
die.
amazing.
I know. And some of them are like, ooh, I'm afraid of heights.
I'm
Right.
judging. I'm afraid of heights. I'm
And
dying.
everyone else is pretty much like excited.
Yes. I would have totally been Dexter, like just zoned out in my own corner, just like
Yeah.
taking it all in.
Well, you're trying to like strategize, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because this is your inspiration.
Right.
And so we have Anne Fullenwider, and she is editor-in-chief at Marie Claire magazine.
Yes.
And she's basically like, guess what, guys? Whoever wins this challenge gets a spread in Marie Claire magazine.
Crazy.
So that's the prize.
Talk about no pressure at all.
I know, and I
No
love
big
these.
deal.
I love these like little motivational prizes that are different every
Yeah.
challenge because it just kind of makes you want to
I
work
feel
for
like
something
it makes you
more.
I
Yeah.
feel like it helps your creativity. 'Cause
Yeah.
We saw what with Christian Siriano,
Oh yeah,
that giant shoulder thing. Oh, it was epic.
And it keeps the competition alive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every day, every day we're still competing for something.
well you're
You know, we're
competing for the
bonding.
end prize, but like
Right.
really, if you think logically about it, you're like, okay, well, what are my chances? Even if I come up with something amazing, everybody's amazing here. So you're thinking, I want to earn as much money and get as much exposure as I can on my way there, even if I
Right.
win. So, you know, it kind of gives you a little something. And I like that it's different every time. Like we had $25,000 last episode, and then this is a spread in Marie Claire, and sometimes they win makeup or they get a trip or
Right.
whatever. I think it's
Really
just
cool
makes it
incentives.
interesting. Yeah.
Right. You could go on just for the bonus prizes and come up.
I know. Win some sewing machines and stuff.
Right. It's all good. Spread the love,
So they need to basically make an editorial look. Yay! For a
time.
powerful woman.
Favorite challenge.
Yes.
And they want it to be bold, high fashion drama.
Yes.
And I feel like this
kind-
is
I
like
feel
every
so-
designer's dream, you know, like do editorial, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little lackluster.
And then how much you have so much inspiration, like New York City, there's so much to draw from.
And I'm
Totally.
surprised
Street
how
life.
They each got like a
Different.
Yeah.
I literally, when Rick said the Statue of Liberty, I'm like, okay, like 5 of them are gonna do that.
Yeah,
Right,
that's what I thought too.
And I was
Right.
like, they each chose something very different.
Right.
That struck me too. And it just kind of reminds you, even presented like with a very limited challenge. I don't think that's limited, but even when they have limited challenges, what the different perspectives are of these people. Like they come up with like totally, like I think Dexter says like, oh, I felt like I was a voyeur up in this looking at people through their window, so I'm gonna do this like see-through lace dress. Like that would never occur to me. But it's really interesting, you know.
I guess
the thought process.
Very outside the box. It's really interesting how people can just interpret a challenge and like get the exact same note.
Yeah.
And think completely different thoughts.
Right. I would have done the train. I'm surprised no one did the subways. I mean, I guess you can't really see them, but I would have been like a fast-moving car. I don't know.
Yeah, there's tons of inspiration.
I would have done Ground Zero.
Oh, really? That's touching. How touching.
So they actually get $300 and only one day, which
Which
whatever.
sounds impossible.
Especially for editorial
rates. Are they getting wholesale rates on this $300 budget?
No, and it really sucks because mood is expensive.
Right. Are they paying taxes
for zipper?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When I went, I would get like the cheapest crap I could find just because I knew it's not about like if you get silk crepe, just get polyester crepe because it doesn't matter what it is. It matters what it looks like. And if you can get 16 yards and make something fabulous instead of one, that's all that matters. Like there's designers going in there buying, silk for, $40-$80 a yard. And I'm like, you're being ridiculous right now.
Right. What, like everything, the kitchen sink?
Yeah. And I'm like, and you need like matching thread, you need zippers, you need buttons, you need facing, you need boning, you need like all kind, and then you need like just in case fabric. Right. Because once you're stuck with that, you're done. Like you can't get anything else unless someone like compassionately shares their fabric with you, which like don't expect that.
Right.
It
does,
but...
Insider tips from Michelle. Future Project Runway contestants. She's giving you tips.
So we have Natalia kind of asking everyone for help.
Yeah, her needy side is showing.
And I knew right then, like, the way that they're putting her, she's gonna go home.
Yeah. But it kind of made sense that the two needy people were kind of codependent.
Right.
Like, they're looking to each other for the answers that they weren't confident enough to come up with on their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can see her struggling, and I think... like, she kind of starts breaking down. Like, maybe we didn't see that before. Maybe she was before. I think she was always a little bit insecure about it. But she really knows, like, that her, her look isn't coming along.
Yeah.
And I also feel like maybe it was crunch time and she just... maybe the pressure was a little much.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to experience. She's just young. She doesn't have enough experience to really exude the confidence that she needs to win this competition. I don't think that she's... You know what I'm saying? Like... you have to know that you're dope. You cannot expect to rely on the opinions of your opponents.
Right.
Somebody can set you up.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Like,
and
girl, add the ruffle collar around the front of the neck. That's hot. Right here.
Give her
ruffle,
a bib.
just right here. Make it lime green, too, I'm telling you. Like...
Yeah.
Speaking of lime green... I was watching Cornelius make his outfit, and he calls chartreuse lime green. And I'm like, that's my favorite color.
It is.
Insult chartreuse and call it lime green.
That is super funny.
Okay, Cornelius.
No, but I mean, I think part of it too was Natalia didn't have an inspiration that went like more than skin deep. She's like, oh yeah, there's some metallic and some triangles and
shiny.
Everyone else was kind of taking like this really deep stuff. Like, oh, I'm imagining, these, people driving around in taxis and they're living some kind of life or whatever. She wasn't really getting it into her soul. Like, her inspiration was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna make like something that's metallic with triangles on it, and there's nothing to make you feel passionate about that. So anything else you guys notice in the workroom?
It's funny. You saw something like Dexter and the shade between Dexter and Rick and their little comments that they throw is like, it's really funny just watching them kind of like look at each other across the room like, and I thought it was so funny. The person who comes and critiques what's his name? I'm sorry, I forgot his name. Tim, right. Tim comes in and he's like, okay, so what are these shoulders? And he's like, well, we did shoulders last week. And Dexter's like, well, these aren't the same. And then they flash back to last week, and they have the exact same shoulders. I'm like, I don't think you want to do that. Yeah, that was my whole thing from the beginning. I was like, bruh, not the shoulders again. And sure enough, in the end, they critiqued the shoulders again.
Do you guys think that if he would have done like a different shoulder?
If it was pointed, I feel like they would have lived.
Yeah. Or just nothing, just a cool jacket over a lace dress.
Or even like something like, I don't care if it was like hair, like
yeah,
wigs, the hair on that lace dress would have been sick, or something.
I feel like fur could have added to
fur.
Oh yeah, he needed like more drama. It
Even
wasn't
if it was just like something here.
Yeah, I felt. Well, we'll talk more about it when we get to his
Let's
look.
not get ahead of ourselves.
But okay, so should we talk about Cornelius's look on the runway? Because
Wait, can we talk about Erin's labia jacket?
well, okay, yes, let's do that first.
I'm like, why? Just there was just
it's the flower of life.
I like how she was like, I love this idea. And then as she kind of went on, she's like, no, it looks like a piglet. No, it looked like...
Rick said, did he say it looked like Squidward?
Yes.
Patrick.
Patrick. Yo,
Pink starfish.
Was so funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was weird, but I like
It looked like a taco.
I like her little mod weird aesthetic with shapes and things that aren't normal. Like I
feel like the
like
jacket
it.
could have been cool though.
I think it could have been cool
TBH.
too. Like she could have
been
put
just more
sleeves.
narrow too.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cooler than the look she actually makes.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was weird, but like you didn't see it finished, you know.
Yeah, I feel
so
like finish would have been a little.
it could have
cooler.
been transformed into something different with
Right.
some contrast or some applique.
the
or
labia
something. I know.
A different color because we don't need pink lips.
Yeah, it could have been
We
a different.
don't.
Yeah, a different color. It
Like
would
a
have been
water
much
bubble
better.
gum.
She's like, well, I always do yellow. You should have done yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
Stick with what's
Nobody
good.
would have
Works for you.
penalized you for that. Okay. Are we? You guys got that out of your system?
Yes, definitely.
Clear that.
So Cornelius blew me away. This was like the most fabulous thing I've seen in a long time.
Lived for this dress. I lived for it. I'm all about.
I don't like. I felt like the colors were. I was gonna hate it. I felt like I was just gonna be like. Ugh.
When he was working.
Oh yeah, I was like
Yeah.
all this color with this gray.
I
Just,
live.
And
Yeah.
then I was just like.
I know.
I'm all about like a muted tone with something popping.
Right.
I'm
I
all
agree.
about it. I loved it.
I felt like it was like. I feel like that was Dax's inspiration.
Right,
Like, I'm
right.
looking through, like I'm flying outside, looking through a window and seeing all this color from all the different things in New York.
Right, amongst
Right.
the concrete jungle.
Amongst
Yeah.
the concrete jungle, right?
I thought the inspiration was awesome. I thought the dress was expensive. I love
Yes.
how structural it
I
is.
loved the structure.
The gray was because you can go wrong with gray. Like you can get the
Right.
wrong warm gray, and
Right.
and everything will be horrible from then on in. But like it was subtle and it looked really clean. Like this isn't basic, but it's not in your like you could wear this to the office. You could wear it out.
Yes.
It just looks so expensive.
I love the extended sleeve. I love the length of
Me
the
too.
sleeve. I love the lines. I love the cut. I love even in the detail of the, I guess it's like a leaf or a feather. I'm not sure exactly what
Yeah.
it's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
they look like
But it's
feathers.
still linear. When you get up to it, like the lines
Right.
are still very symmetrical.
There was like
You
a
know, they're
lot
like,
of thought put into it.
a lot.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And I
loved
like
it.
how each kind of panel it has like a dominant color, so it's red and then blue
Right.
and then yellow. It's not like the same,
Yeah.
and that
Right.
it's just like every piece about this dress blew me away.
The shoe he chose?
Oh yeah, and the styling.
Yes, the knee, the length, like where he cut it, where it hits her elbow and her shoulder, like
Yeah.
it's proportionate. I loved it. I loved it with the haircut.
Yeah.
It just worked.
It looks super chic.
everything.
Yeah.
He
Beautiful.
definitely, obviously, should have been the winner this week to me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
give-
was.
I
Yeah.
give this a 10.
Yeah.
I give it a 9.
I give
Well,
it
I
an,
give it
okay.
a 9.5. Let's reserve our
I give it a 9 because I don't do 10s, but Cornelius, you almost had a 10 from me.
I give
The
it a 9.5.
only thing that I have a problem with is the panel on the back because it's kind of on her butt. I don't like the placement of that. I wish he would have dropped it down to the hem, so it's kind of like shoulder, waist, hem.
Oh yeah, that would have been really
Okay.
cool.
And Cornelius, if you would have done that, this would have been a 10 from me because it's a little weird. It's like kind of cupping, her butt just
like it.
a little
Like a
bit.
I feel like if she'd sit, it would just.
Yeah, and I just feel like it would kind of just flow more. even though it's a back and a front, like if you look at a piece of art, you want your eye to like flow.
Maybe it's
but
like the opposite hip.
But I was so impressed, and I mean, if Cornelius could just do like an entire collection like this, it would be just so good.
I want a jacket like that. Like I want a blazer
Oh,
like that.
a jacket would be
beautiful.
amazing.
Crazy. Yeah.
Ugh,
I love it.
can't get enough of this one. But we do have to move on. So the next designer we have is Dexter. And so we talked a little bit about this, and I like the idea of this kind of sheer dress with the hood and the high neck on it.
I do.
It's kind of like villain, you know, but I feel like for Dexter, this is basic. You know what I mean? Like, he does the big shoulders, but there's no detail, and there's no, like, wow, she just looks really dark and, like, moody.
Yeah.
And there wasn't, I'm like, okay, well, you did a lace dress. Well, I could make one of those in an hour.
Right.
And what is
A lace
special?
tube dress.
I mean, yeah, what is special about this?
Right.
I thought it was very beautiful. Like, very beautiful. It was very aesthetically pleasing to my eye. I immediately thought, like, Wicked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that's Elphaba.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
totally.
Elphaba in New York.
She's like a fashion villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, that's a costume.
It is, yeah. I liked it too, and I like the more dramatic, as you know, but
Yeah.
it just,
Funny, but that's a costume.
if you had never seen this before, it'd be hard to say, like, what you think of it, because you saw, like, his Mickey Mouse jacket, and that was so much better. It had pockets, it had contrasting greens, it had zipper teeth.
Right.
And I just don't see any, I'm like, okay, it's a whatever.
I think he took the easy way out. Like, okay, we know New York is dark and gothic and Gotham City-ish, you know? So it's like, okay, black lace, easy. Love the dress. The shoulders were just a bad decision. Because
I think the inspiration was fine, it's just he didn't take it in the right direction, you know?
I just think it's easy. I just think it was easy.
I feel like he got, like...
I guess the mood of NYC, but...
Like, it was like... He was like, oh, editorial, this is my thing.
I'm just gonna like skate by, yeah.
But
like,
I like it. I mean, it looked good on.
I gave it a 6 just because I was like, maybe I'm expecting more from Dexter. Even this look, it could have been cool. It just needed to be amped up and look more expensive.
I gave it a 6.5.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay. And then we have our next designer coming up. Okay, so Aaron's kind of got this weird tweed pink
Jellyfish thingy.
dress with like blue reflective ruffle on the bottom, and I'm sorry I hated this. Sorry, not sorry, I hated this.
It didn't stand for anything. It didn't say anything to me, and I wasn't quite sure how it represented New York.
This made me start questioning Erin's construction skills, because when I saw her making that pink pig blanket thing in the workroom, I realized there's no seams in it, and the armholes are really big, and I was like, I don't think she knows how to make clothing.
Yeah.
Everything she's made is oversized,
That's what I'm
not
saying.
form-fitting, and it looks really cool, but I think it's kind of like a cheat, you know? Like, I don't know how to make dresses, so I'm going to make sure I make something that I can construct, because I don't know how a sleeve is supposed to fit.
Right.
You know, and it works sometimes like, oh, here's an oversized coat, it looks so chic, but like, she doesn't know how to make a sleeve, a regular sleeve, you know? So then we have this, and it's just like a big open dress, and I just wasn't impressed, and like, the seams weren't, you know, the edges aren't finished, and I've seen that from her before too. She's like, oh, I didn't finish the sleeves because you know, I thought it would look cool, but it just looks like a rat's nest.
Where would we wear this dress? Like, do you wear it to your daughter's sweet 16?
Maybe your 3-year-old daughter's wearing it.
Or like, because where is she going? I just
don't
want to know. Is she going to a
She's supposed to
cocktail
be
party?
powerful.
It doesn't say powerful
That
at
doesn't
all.
say powerful to me, and I
And
was
it ends
so
up on the
surprised.
top, and I'm like, what are you smoking?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I didn't think
like
it was
it's not
ugly.
good, though.
I liked when she was standing there on the stage with Erin. I liked it sitting there because it didn't look like a jellyfish to me.
Right. It's just a little.
I get it as
shapeless.
Erin's, you know, aesthetic. I could see it going with her other like crazy primary color things.
Right.
But just as a dress, I'm like, if I didn't know Erin made that, I'd be like, what is
is it?
this? I
Right.
don't
I
like
felt like
it.
if she would have taken away the blue entirely, or maybe made the blue like a panel on the side and just kept it like a really tight dress
I
where
think
she like
for
couldn't
me it's
walk in.
the top part because it's unfinished and it's like a cheat. You know, I get that ruffle is like her thing, kind of. That's where I see the
Yeah.
Erin part come out. I don't like it, but I could see if she did something weirder on top. Whereas this just looks like this is editorial. How?
I wanted
How
this
is
super
this?
structured, like
It's not powerful.
It would have been super tight all the way to the bottom, and I would let all the flare be at the bottom and
Right.
kind of drag. Like, I don't know.
It's just I gave it a 3 because I'm like, what? I don't understand it. Maybe that's just me, but
I gave it a 6.
I'll give it a 5. Like, I'm just right on the fence. Like,
it looks like a Barbie dress.
Yeah.
Not
from
anything
the
any
80s.
real person would wear, you know?
It looks like dresses that you make yourself for your Barbies.
yeah.
but then I remember there being something about it that I did like. I was like, okay, it's not terrible.
I like the fabric.
And what was that?
Maybe it was like the cut of the neckline.
I mean, it's not. The shape isn't unflattering.
Right. And
It's
in the
just-
movement, it kind of moved nicely on the runway.
It reminded me of like Little House on the Prairie, like on acid or you know.
Little House on the Prairie
there are
on
no prairies
shrooms.
in New York.
This
Yes.
is Little House on the Prairie of shrooms.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Yeah, it is.
Ugh,
It's very.
I want to see some cool
And I really
stuff
didn't like
again
the
from-
styling with it either.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I hate
Maybe
it
if
when
it
they
was
leave their hair long because it
yeah.
covers
Right.
everything. Like, oh, I'll do some shoulder detail and like have their hair cover it.
Right. That's silly.
Maybe if it was like tight with like some chopsticks in it, I thought I would have
Better.
given some edge.
Yeah, it
or
looks
something.
better from the front than from the back angle.
Yeah, I think so too.
It looks
Okay.
like a Ziploc bag.
We have a couple more designers to get through in the next couple minutes, so moving on, we will take a look at Laurence. And again, she's got this like awesome black top, but you can't see any of the detail on the runway.
Right.
And she actually did kind of take a gray and black brocade,
Yeah.
kind of metallic, and do a mini skirt.
I
Oh no,
thought
I'm
that-
sorry, this is Majing.
I thought the detail was amazing on the. Oh,
Yeah, I
moving
could.
around
Sorry,
a
I
little
couldn't
bit?
see. Yeah, so this is Majing
Oh, okay.
actually, and he did kind of a denim dress
I
with
loved it.
the tweed in this really fierce
Yes.
shape. But I hated her hair.
Oh.
I hated it.
There's something sort of like morning after about her hair. But
It's like,
that
I
dress-
like
I'm
it
into
up,
it.
you know, but I don't like. It's like a weird shape, and it looks kind of 90s to me, and not in a good way, you know. But I thought
I'm
she
not
looked
into it.
super
I'm
into
powerful.
Yeah,
She
I'm
looks
into
powerful.
it. It looks powerful. I
Yeah.
love the
I thought
going
the
up.
dress was
Yeah.
beautiful.
And
Yeah.
it looks so expensive to me.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
And I'm so glad he kind of made a comeback because
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Majing, and I feel like he's really
Yeah.
been slacking.
I would have liked to see a little bit more of the denim incorporated in the center. I'm not gonna lie, like just to give it a little extra.
Right, so it's not such a big field of-
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
But
thing
I
I
liked it.
said was like the booby area was a little bit too booby shaped.
Yeah, it was.
He could have made that a
Oh,
little
very, like,
fiercer up
cuppy.
there. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
cuppy. And I gave it an 8. What did you guys think?
I actually gave it a 9. I thought it was really,
really good.
beautiful. I thought it was really well made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really interesting. Like, you don't see stuff like that.
Yeah, and I
Right.
thought the use of 2 different textiles, especially those 2 together,
Yeah.
like a tweed, which just makes me think of like a rug
Yeah.
with like denim, like that could have went really south
Yeah.
really fast. And I think it's like a testament to his like taste level
Oh, yeah. I think so too.
to take something that could go cheap or like knockoffy and make it so beautiful.
Yeah, he really had an inspiration with this one. What do you think, Carmen?
I give it an 8. I give it an 8.
Right on. Okay. Let's move on. And so this was Natalia's. And so when it came out, I was actually impressed because I thought in the workroom that it was going to look much worse than it actually did.
The first thing that caught my eye was that hologram in the middle. I was like, ooh, and then I started focusing, and I was like, ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the longer you looked at it and like the closer it got, it went very Monet.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. I think
I like the color. I think the color is beautiful.
Yes, love that. It's like a cobalt
blue,
kind of
yeah.
blue.
Yeah. I liked the hologram part of it, but so, you know, the jacket looks just weird. It looks like a windbreaker, the way she pieced the colors together to me, and it looks kind of like she does kind of have this sporty look, but she's not owning it
If
at
it was
all.
like a bomber jacket, I feel like it could have been cool.
Way cooler as a bomber
Yeah, with
jacket.
a jumpsuit, a bomber jacket.
I could have
jumpsuit.
seen
Ooh, that's
that,
so
you know,
fly.
like the collar shape is just weird, and I think as a bomber it would have looked more like a real piece of fashion, and the jumpsuit is like cool until you take the jacket off. I wish there was just a little bit of hologram, but it's like the straps and everything. It really does look like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
So-
she had a good idea. She just didn't know how to execute it. I think this could have really came out nice. her execution.
very,
She doesn't
like,
have enough
sci-fi
skill.
channel.
Yeah, I think she should have
Yeah.
taken and just did a blue jumpsuit and made it cool and pretty, and then used the hologram as like a belt,
Yeah.
you know, or something that makes more sense, or like
Or
a
a
detail,
harness.
or
Yeah,
a
some
harness,
sort
or a
of-
neck piece, or
exactly.
something. It wasn't used in the right way,
Right.
and I think part of her, you know, freaking out in the workroom, she's not thinking clearly. But I mean, I think she has a lot of potential, but I feel like she's been overdue to go home.
Yes.
So
I agree.
I gave it a 6.
Her weakness showed a lot.
A lot. I gave it a 6 because I thought the pants fit really well, and I see a lot of thought put into this. And you know, I just don't think it's like a real clothing.
I gave it a 6 as well.
Yeah.
I cannot get past how it looked when she took the jacket off. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember how
Trying to forget.
Yeah.
the front wasn't symmetrical at all? Like it didn't have any symmetry. It was just like I have to give it like a 4.
Yeah.
It was below average.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Okay, and moving on. We have Roberi.
Beautiful.
I just gave it a 5 because I didn't think it was editorial. It was
Right.
glamorous, but kind of like casual.
It
Like I
was
could
very-
see a
very
girl
casual.
wearing this
It was
out.
Miami.
It was
It
safe.
was Miami, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was pretty, and Roberi's good at doing pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was just, you know,
Like
okay.
blah.
Yeah,
But it's pretty.
yeah.
It
It's
moves.
The
really,
pink's a
really
little much
pretty.
for
Right,
me.
it's
It
pretty.
looks kind of like lingerie, you know, the pink to me, but it was just okay.
Yeah. It was just. It looked very beachy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks comfortable.
I
Yeah.
guess he was going for like cocktail dress, woman after work.
Yeah, but it's editorial. Like
Right.
he's got so many cool techniques and like
Right.
drama that I feel like that was a missed opportunity for him.
Right.
And I don't see like parachute.
Right, right.
Oh, okay.
I see like nighttime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it.
I
a
don't think the
6.
shoe goes with it either.
Uh-uh.
That wasn't a
No,
good choice.
it really cuts her legs in a weird place.
I feel like if you would
And
have
it's a
done the hair
weird
cooler,
length.
it could have maybe taken it or given her some giant jewelry.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Or
length
waves
is
If you would have
weird.
made cuffs,
yeah.
I would have died.
A little more.
Or if the cuffs would have been like tied to like something in the back,
yeah.
it would have
Yeah.
given it some
Yeah,
drama
just,
that I needed.
it needed some kind of more of an impact.
Yeah, it looks a little milkmaidy.
So, and then last, I believe we do have Laurence. No,
Oh,
that's
wait,
Rick. I
Rick's.
guess we haven't got. Okay, so Rick's got the Lady Liberty kind of look going on. And when it came out, I was like wowed.
I don't know, that's true.
Oh,
And when
Okay.
he turned around.
And when she turns around, I was like, why?
Right.
But, you know, the more I look at it, I don't like the front because there's too much on the neck. Like, I love the draping on
I
the
get that,
front.
yeah.
I like the silver straps, but I wish he would have either built it up taller or given her, you know, more chest.
I like the staining.
Yeah,
I love
the
it.
fabric was,
That was, like,
gorgeous.
I thought that was cool because New York City is very much puddles, dirty water, garbage. Like it's a
That's so
icky
funny.
kind of place. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever ridden the subway in New York City?
No, but I can only imagine if it's like
Yeah,
LA.
It's a grimy, no, it's
ask
an
me about New
entirely
York.
different experience from LA.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It was
but it's
very
a
stinky.
It's a grimy place. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a grimy place, but it's grit. It has character. Like, so I
Grits,
thought that
yeah.
was great that he showed the like
There's something kind
flashes of just.
Dexter about it though.
I know. I just don't understand why he made like this dress underneath and then just make the drapey dress. Just make it
Yeah.
editorial, like go all
Yeah,
out.
like
Like,
what?
I don't know. I mean, the
then
strap
the
idea was cool, but it didn't, you know, it didn't work for me because it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't functional, and the back is just completely open like a hospital gown. You know.
Yeah.
Right, and then why are those straps in the back black or silver?
Silver.
I
They
think
are?
they're all silver, and I
Oh,
like
okay.
the I
Just
like
the
the
light.
addition of the silver. It just didn't work.
I get what he was trying to give, like kind of like this is.
I got
get
the
it.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
Definitely,
of like
I
just
got
thrown
that.
on and wrapped on and kind of harnessed on and like a very edgy kind
I
of.
wish the whole thing could have stayed draped.
Right. Me
But
too.
it
It's
doesn't
just
quite
so
look like a
beautiful.
dress the longer I look at it. It looks like
A
a
smock.
sheet.
Yeah.
A sheet just.
I think he could have used the straps more like
Yeah.
thoughtfully.
Or
Like
if
he
he
could
would've
have like
belted it.
belted it or made some straps on the waist on the side or crisscrossing there or you know in the back.
Even
or
if the
something.
back, it could have been. He could have sewed just the straps all along.
Right.
It could have just.
Because I like the addition
was-
of the straps. It makes it edgy for me,
Yeah.
and not just boring like every other gown I've seen. But
Right.
it just wasn't. It did. Maybe he ran out of time working
I
with
don't think
his
she would have been in
fabric.
the
The
bottom.
back
though.
blew it.
No,
for
I
me.
don't think so either. It was
Yeah.
definitely safe. I thought.
The back blew it.
Yeah.
I give it a 7. It could have been a 9.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
And then do we have a photo of Laurence's look?
I mean, it was like the first one.
Was it? Okay.
I think we skipped over her briefly by mistake.
Well, she kind of has this black top with all this leather detail.
It was cute.
That was sick in the center, like based off of the building.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was hot.
There was some shape to it.
But we're
Yes.
losing the detail on the runway, and I thought the
Right.
skirt was too short. And for me, I
Yes.
feel like Laurence has done
Right.
so many powerful looks before. This to me was too sweet.
She does but I mean, it's like she takes a basic structure and then she adds all this detail on top of it. But she's not really putting a lot of thought into creative structures for her pieces.
But I don't think she always needs to, because I think,
Okay.
you know, when she did kind of the Bentley little black dress, it was just a subtle shoulder that looked more expensive than like Dexter's shoulders. But there wasn't something huge and crazy. It was just, you know, the shape and the detail of it.
I just feel like I've seen her shapes. Like I feel like I've seen that
that
like,
same back.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've seen
Yeah.
that back on that skirt. You know,
I wish the skirt would have been like rounder, more like hoop.
Something more
Like
editorial,
structured,
yeah, like a
right.
different shape than just, hi, I'm a circle skirt. Yeah.
Right.
And I thought it was too short.
I want her to play with color. I want to see what she'll do with a lot
I feel
of
like it would
color.
look good with some red in it.
Red would be great.
Right.
But
No
at
one
least she
did the
tried
Big Apple.
gray. At least it wasn't all black this time.
Yeah.
We had some metallic.
I'm
and I think
surprised
that
no
was
one
good.
did red for the Big Apple.
Oh, true.
Yeah, for sure. So I gave it like a 7.5.
I gave it a 7.
I give it a 6.5.
Yeah.
But I'm tough.
And so we actually see Natalia go home.
Yeah.
And then we also see Dexter go home.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked because I thought they would have him pegged for, you know, the finale.
Yeah. I was like, Dexter is just gonna go through.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of shocking. And I could see Dexter on the runway, like when they called Natalia, he's like, oh, thank God.
yeah.
I'm safe. And then they're
Right.
like, no, and you're going
And then it
home
was just-
too. And I
It
just
went from
can't
crying,
imagine.
Crying,
tears
I
of
know.
relief to tears.
Oh, I can't even imagine what he was feeling at that moment because you just feel safe and then you're like, just
And
kidding.
you're like, what?
They just take away your security blanket.
But I do really love his aesthetic, and I hope
Yeah,
that he
I
goes
think
on
so
to
too.
do more because I think he's really talented. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do too.
So who do you guys think is gonna be in the finale?
Ribery,
Ribery.
Laurence. Oh God, that's hard.
I know, right? It's really hard.
So there are only 3.
And Majing, yeah.
Majing is going.
Yeah.
Ruberry is going. Ruberry.
Yeah.
I would
it gonna-
like Erin to be there only because I like her eye.
I do too, and I want to see what she could do. I think it'll be Erin, Majing, and Laurence, and maybe Rick. Rick's like kind of the silent horse.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
because-
Rick. I feel like that's why I'm like, I don't know who that last one would
it's
go to. Is
getting
it
down
going
to
to
the
be Rick? Is
wire.
it going to be Aaron?
Yep. All right, well, we need to wrap up, so please let the viewers know where they can find you, Carmen.
You can find me on Instagram at Carmen Cameron, and you can find me on Facebook at Facebook/Carmen Cameron.
And our guest, Sergio Paez, makeup artist. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Instagram at Sergio Paez _MUA.
And you can find me, Michelle Uberreste, at Uberreste on Instagram and Twitter. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.